We definitely are having some fun up here.
This is fucking awesome, dude.
We got some friends on tour with us, and we want to bring them out and sing on the next song. So, Avenged Sevenfold, get on out here, right? We're going to sing some backup vocals for us, and you can sing too, all right? Avenged Sevenfold, yes. Pick a microphone, anyone.
Okay, how does this go? How does this go? It goes 1, 2, 3.
Huntington Beach is a place like no other place that I've ever been. It has rich people and poor people and trashy people and, you know, surfers, skaters, punk rockers, gangsters. It's like this ultimate mix of everything in one.
Much to people's misinterpretation of it, people are very friendly here, really nice. You know, give you the shirt off their back, salt of the earth, people with a tan.
You know, we live on PCH. It's just where everything happens, you know, from riding our bikes down there as kids, taking the bus down there when we were young, before we could drive, you know, drinking all day on Main Street, going to the beach, drinking all day, getting ourselves in trouble.
I remember the streets most of all, riding around with Matt or with Brian.
That's definitely influenced us a lot. We, for the most part, you know, a few of us went to the Huntington Beach High School.
Huntington High School has significance for pretty much everybody else except for me, because I didn't even go to Huntington.
That's actually where me and Matt had written pretty much all of our first CD.
So it's been a long time since I've even stepped foot on this campus. It's kind of weird. All I can think of is M Shadows walking around with baggy pants, getting in fights, and the Rev going like this, terrorizing every single person in the short time he was in school here, including me.
Where the fuck are the classrooms?
That's a great part. That's a great part about Huntington Beach High School. Is there really isn't any. There's the basketball gym where I used to play.
Me too, till they kicked me off the team. I don't remember any particular place that I latched onto most. I was always, you know, in and out of homes, living in my car, living in a laundromat at work.
My home! It burnt down?
No, they tore it down.
I wonder how that happened.
Your clothes, you would think would always be clean when you live in a laundromat, but no. We broke that rule too. I lived in a laundromat for 6 months and maybe washed my clothes twice. My home, dude, that's my motherfucker, dude. That's where people used to come knock on my door about 3 in the morning, dude. I'd be so scared it was the cops every time, or my boss.
Hey, we used to drink whiskey all the time, get fucking smashed. I've been arrested back there.
Yeah, check that out. We should film that.
To the drunk tank.
Kind of cool, you know? I mean, sitting out, you know, half a mile away from the beach, just chilling out and writing songs, pretty unbelievable. And then, you know, you get old enough to get your fake IDs and stuff, and you meet up at Johnny's bar a lot.
Lots of crazy shit happened at this place. This is where we would meet up every single night. I remember the Rev laying face first in his puke right over here.
No puke.
So Johnny's bar is a very important place to us. When we were writing City of Evil and Waking the Fallen, we went there every day after we wrote, and we discussed the songs and trying to arrange the songs. You know, you write all day, and it's hard to sit back and really look at the songs and say, is this a good song? So we'd go there, and you know, he'd bring us shots and beers, and we'd just sit there and talk about the songs. You know, we'd sit there and go, okay, well, this is what we want to try on this. So it was like a very, you know, important part to our writing process.
I had some of the best times of my entire life ever with my friends at this bar.
I used to start here at the bar and always have Long Island iced teas to start off the fucking night. Every single fucking time.
And he has projectile vomited off this.
Yep. It was our good buddy Joe Tantaro's birthday, and we were celebrating it here. I was telling everyone I could handle it, and apparently I went completely white, lifted up my head, and just shot out puke straight onto the bar.
Thank you. This is to Johnny's. Thank you guys.
We'd have these Sundays. We call it beach day. And actually beach day is going downtown and bar hopping.
Dude, give me an Indian blood.
All right.
Full force.
I do have a little bit of Indian blood in me.
Full force fucking cure.
All right, well, this is Main Street. We're gonna be coming up on downtown near the pier. This is downtown Main Street. There's the pier straight ahead.
You know, when I get home, I'm on vacation. I live right at the beach. You know, I'm a mile away from the main street where there's just tons of great food and drinks and fun to be had.
This is like pretty much where we hang out when we're downtown. All the kids hang out here, all the bars. There's Tuna Town. Our friend David Silvera from Corn owns it. And, Sugar Shack, our friend Timmy Turner's parents own that. This whole place is pretty insane down here. And this is the middle of winter and everyone's still at the beach. You know, and you're never gonna find anything like Orange County anywhere else in the world. You're not gonna find it in Florida, you're not gonna find it in Sweden, you're not gonna find it in Japan. It's Orange County only, you know? It's like, it's just a Southern California thing. We all grew up in punk rock and like playing power chords and drinking after school.
I met the Rev and Chads in junior high.
Sinister and I met in 8th grade and hit it off right away, became best friends, and pretty much haven't left each other's side since.
In 2nd grade, I met the Reverend. He was always getting in trouble. I'd already played piano my whole life, but I wanted to get into rock music, and I didn't realize how much the piano would benefit me down the road. But at that time, I was just like getting into the guitar, and I wanted to start a band. I started writing songs in my punk band called Successful Failure. And Jimmy would come over, and he thought we were the biggest joke because, you know, we were just playing punk rock songs, and he ruled the drums.
All right, record this, goddamn, and play some drums.
I went over and saw there's band practice, and I couldn't even believe what I saw. These kids, I mean, Matt, my friend, they had half stacks, which is something, I mean, when you're a freshman in high school, that's like unheard of.
When we decided in high school that we were gonna start a band, we went to Jimmy, and we're like, hey, dude, do you wanna be in this band? And he's just like, he knew he was too good to be in the band, because me and Zach both kind of sucked, you know, and we were just trying to write these songs, screaming over them, and he's like, I guess I will, because we're friends. I'll just play in it because we're friends.
If there's a rumor going around that I thought I was too good to be in this band, it wasn't this band. Matt was in a band called Successful Failure, and that I was originally like slotted to play drums for that, but that didn't work out.
We knew Sid from growing up, and he was the best guitar player around. He didn't want to play with us at first because he was too good for us too. He heard our CD sounding some trumpet, and he thought it was really creative and thought there's some cool stuff on it, so he decided he'd play with us. Okay, well, the Rev, he's a crazy bastard, and he's everyone's best friend in the world. You know, everyone really cares about him.
Pork product, licking on my nuts, sucking on them nuts, stucking, fucking grinding down on them nuts.
Whenever there's a wedding, he's always the best man.
Matt and I met and became best friends and terrorized the planet.
Then you have Sin, who I've known him pretty much my whole life because he was Jimmy's best friend.
What I'm about to do has changed the English life for centuries.
And he was always around. He never went to the same school as me except Mesa View, which was our middle school. Zach I met from grade school. I met him because he was just around the punk scene.
dude.
You know, like he'd come see my band Successful Failure play. We went and watched his band MPA play, which stood for Mad Porno Action.
Mad porn action.
Mad porn action. Because of one crazy night, the school asked him to play, their punk band to play at the school. So this is where they played. They played on this little stage right here.
Oh wow, it was pretty bad. We played, there's like a couple hundred kids watching, it was like a big break. It was like cool, you know? We sucked really bad. The next day, I got all the police coming for me because they said I stole all the microphones or something. Remember that?
Yeah.
I don't even think I stole them.
I met Zach through the band. I think he might have hated me in high school, and then we became friends in the band.
Now we're just all friends from, you know, Matt Went, who started Avenged with us, our old bass player.
We put an everlasting homage to our first bass player back before Avenged Sevenfold started, and it was the cool thing to put little poems about him up on the ceiling.
Everyone named Nick has a little prick, and if they shave their head, they still aren't homo as Matt went.
He and Zach went to the same school together, so that's how that whole group of like kids that were into punk rock and hardcore, and then our whole group, and then we all met up in grade school. So then in high school we decided to start a band because it was, you know, the thing to do, I guess.
I actually knew Johnny the longest, but I didn't really know him. He was my friend's little brother, and apparently he claims I used to pick on him in kindergarten.
I met Johnny through his older brother.
Their bassist, for whatever reason, wasn't working out and had to leave for a couple weeks, and they still had 2 weeks left on the tour. So I was like, well, I could take a couple weeks off high school so you guys could finish your tour before you do the next record.
He was and still is to this day is that little shithead, you know, but he's one of the nicest people in the band.
Yeah, we used to torment that kid incessantly.
We got along quite well. We kind of noticed that we were kind of the same kind of people, and we're all characters, so.
The first couple weeks of touring were weird. I think everyone beat him up in the band, like actually beat him up. Let me ask you a personal question. Are we as entertaining as Johnny?
That's the question.
Don't do it if it's gonna. I never knew the term for getting kicked off a plane because you're too drunk until today. Thanks to Johnny Christ, and the term is offloaded.
You been drinking today?
We're going to have to offload you, sir. You decided to do it.
What are you? I'm beer, wine.
We got you.
Give him a bear claw, dude.
Pour that beer on your head. Come on. Wipe it all over your fucking body. Your naked body.
They actually rehearsed right down the street from a friend's house of mine, so I'd go down there and bug him a lot.
And he comes down the street because he hears us practicing, you know, because he had his little band down the street. And he comes in with a cigarette in his hair, and he's just like, your bass player sucks, dude. And you pick up the bass and start jamming Primus with the rev, you know. And we always treated him crazy because we felt our band was all big at one point. We're like, dude, we're selling at Showcase Theater and you get to just jump in our band. And we're all, dude, you can't just do that. Like, we're gonna fuck with you. And he's like, oh, that's cool.
Oh, little Johnny.
So he started playing with us and just was really into it, had a great heart and a great passion for music and just wanted to do his best.
So we gave him some shit. We gave him a lot of shit, actually. I think it's made him, you know, a stronger kid, and he put up with us. And I think there's only a handful of people on the planet that could. And now, you know, he can give our roadie shit or something, I don't know.
I'm not a roadie, I'm a technician. I'm getting helped by the roadie.
We came up with the name Avenged Sevenfold just going through a bunch of different names and biblical references and stuff like that.
The question came up, you know, we've been practicing, we've got a couple songs, you know, it's time to maybe put out a demo. What are we going to call ourselves?
We wanted something really impactful and powerful. And
I didn't have anything good or hardcore enough or metal enough at the time to even submit.
I believe Matt came up with the name Lips of Deceit, which, you know, was pretty cool. I think if we weren't called Avenged Sevenfold, we probably would have been called Lips of Deceit. I just remember being at school and, you know, having a couple lists of a couple different names and stuff.
We all went home and we were just supposed to come up with names, you know, for the band. And that was our brainstorm, and we were gonna meet in the middle lobby at school with our little names on break. So I went to the Bible and just picked out a bunch of terms that I thought were cool. I had a whole list of them, and I came to school and no one did their homework and no one had any names. So I handed them the list and I said, what do you guys think? And everyone wanted Avenged Sevenfold.
I remember sitting here with everyone with a paper with band names on it. Lips of Deceit,
right here.
Avenged Sevenfold, we all decided, pointed at it.
And then A7X came about because Zach was a little smarty pants and he thought of Avenged 7 and then X as the fold, you know, 7 times. And then it became like this thing where everyone calls us A7X. So it was smart on his part.
we have been working with our friends, you know, since day one. We have the greatest friends in the world.
Yeah, Avenged Sevenfold very much is a big family, very tight-knit. We have all of our friends that work for us or have done things for us, and I mean, there's a lot of times where I don't know what we do without having the berries out on the road, to tell you the truth.
I'm too fucking high, I'm not even paying attention.
The berries are just out of their minds. They'll do anything for you. They'll die in 2 seconds for any of us, and we would do the same for them. They're crazy.
Hey, that's helping simple parties, dude. Yeah.
Me and Jason live in our own little world, on tour beyond the drum kit.
Oh shit. Oh shit. What's in the bucket? What's in the bucket but a bucket of shit? But a bucket of grapes and grapes in the mouth. Grapes in the mouth make happy down south.
He's the guy that will shit in a bun and give it to someone for dinner.
This is a poop sandwich.
He took a shit that looked exactly like a fucking sandwich. It was perfect, fit perfectly in a sandwich.
Look at the chunky morsels. Look at the chunky morsels.
He brought it out in a public restaurant and set it on the table of the opening act.
Those guys are totally the most loyal, hardworking guys anyone could ever meet and ask for.
Yeah, Jason likes to pull his toenails off for I don't know why.
Jason always has a reoccurring problem with his toenails for some reason, his big toe.
I can do it fast as fuck, dude, and you'll be walking around.
He ripped half of it off himself.
I'm gonna go like that, grab it, and I'm gonna go out like that. But I'm not gonna have you sit there because I want to be, what the fuck, who smells like a French whore?
I forget exactly what the fuck happened, but I yanked off the rest.
Dude, you're doing it the worst way possible.
I'm going that way.
Okay, you're good. You're good.
Yeah. No, I'm going with the grain, dude.
Just get under it.
Yeah!
And ate it and shit.
Yeah. Oh,
So then everybody's freaking out and he's half laughing, half like in complete pain. So yeah, each time it grows back, something fucked up happens to it and I yank it off.
And that's Jason Barry, he's just out of his mind.
They're just the best. They'll be on our crew forever.
My name is Valerie DiBenedetto, and I used to tour manage Avenged for about 4 years. Been best friends with the guys since elementary school.
Val has been working with us and supporting us, hooking us up with money when we needed money for recording, the merch, all for the low rate of nothing.
And she's was always awesome. She was like our mother, like making sure we wake up on time and everything. And
Val, can you get the dog? Keeps running into the walls.
I remember in the early days, we would borrow money from Val because we didn't have any money. And, she would steal money from her parents and give it to us so we could, make t-shirts or make demos and stuff.
She was always trying to scrounge money for us.
All which got paid back, of course, probably 5 years after the fact.
Suffice to say that Val took care of me for many, many years on tour and is one of my best friends in the world.
The Rev is out of his mind in the most wonderful way.
She's pretty much the best person I know. She's like the coolest person. I love her to death. And I've been best friends with her since I've been, 6th grade.
We've been best friends forever, and it kind of merged into just, boyfriend, girlfriend.
Before Waking the Fallen was out, we'd have a bunch of demos of Eternal Rest and Chapter 4. She'd walk around Warped Tour hours in the sun and just look for kids that maybe had an AFI shirt on or some kind of hardcore band. And she'd just go hand them out. And she did that every day on Warped Tour. And then she'd go back to doing merch. And then she'd load the merch stuff up at the night, and then she'd settle for us.
We expected way too much from her, and we got more. Came Rackham, man whose art you might know from her last album.
I am a friend, family member, artist, and that guy that if you take to your mom's house, he's gonna get mad because I'm gonna get you in a lot of trouble.
Cameron's a great friend that we grew up with. Met him in 5th grade, I think, 6th grade. We'd drive around all day and get tattooed together, and that's what we did. We smoked cigarettes and got tattooed.
We all went to Huntington Beach High together. I only went to Huntington for a little bit shy of a year. Never got kicked out for anything too bad, just a lot of fights. And a lot of the fights were Matt's fault, I gotta say, too.
Back in the days, we got in a lot of fights.
And the biggest fight happened right here because of C. Rackham.
Yep.
Huge brawl broke out here, and everyone's fighting everyone.
Yep.
It was mayhem.
I remember seeing our friend Cameron fighting 15 people at once. He was holding his own. It was pretty awesome, to be honest.
It was pretty awesome. We were all sitting back cool.
He would always be front row at every single concert, no matter how many people were there, whether there was people there at all.
He's a very amazingly talented painter.
My role with Avenged Sevenfold and their artwork is kind of, it's very on a friendship basis. I like doing paintings for their band because I like their band. I enjoy listening to their music. They focus on their music so much, and they take everything so professionally that hopefully I can do my best to have the imagery laid out in their albums the way that I feel like they'd want it presented.
So he's just a wonderful human being.
Also, our manager,
Larry Jacobson. He is, hands down, one of the greatest guys that you could ever know as a person. Great family man.
I had just left Capitol, and I called my business manager to tell him, hey, you know what, I'm leaving, I'm going out and starting my own company. He said, all right, well, do you mind calling up my brother, who runs a small independent label? And I said, sure, I'd be happy to do that. So I go to the label, and I have lunch with his brother, and he hands me a package of material, and he says, just check him out and see what you think.
He came into the picture, and first and foremost, he's a fan of the band, which is always funny to see how he rocks out, He always will talk about sounding the seventh trumpet the first time he heard it.
All of a sudden, I come across this 1 minute and 26-second song. It's like nothing I've ever heard before. It's like I'm freaking out.
But he took us to dinner, and we were skeptical because we didn't know anything about managers and necessarily that we'd want one.
I hooked up a meeting with the band, and they said, look, we don't need a manager. We sat down, we started drinking. By the end of dinner, I was managing him.
We don't work with anybody, closely on a day-to-day basis that we just don't give a shit about.
I will say that I've never heard anyone in this band sit there and gang up against Larry, and no one's ever ganged up and talk shit. And we gang up on everybody and talk shit.
Yeah.
And we've never ganged up and talked shit on you.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
Very first thing I ever said to them, you have interesting minds. Because you just don't see that today. You don't see people who are as willing to take risks, try new things. I mean, these guys are basically freaks.
He's had a lot of good things to say. I found myself looking at the kind of car he drives and what he tips the valet, try to get a feel for him, anything to get a feel for him, Turned out he made a pretty good impression on us.
We've just grown as a family together, and there would be no Avenged Sevenfold without that guy. And then you have the super group on top of it, Evan Bacon and Casey.
Evan Bacon, who was the drummer of this legendary punk band, The Movie Life, is the guy that makes sure that everything is smooth when the band's out on the road. Casey spends a lot of time focusing on communicating directly with fans.
And those guys are just, their attention to detail is amazing. Our names came through a bunch of different situations. I started calling myself Tennessee Gates one day when me and the Rev were driving drunk through a park.
There's a lot of different reasons for our stage names.
This was our way of kind of branching out and distinguishing ourselves. We wanted to put on a show. And for us, that meant mimicking the stuff that our favorite bands had done. People like Slash and, you know, U2's The Edge. I mean, they all had names, and no one laughs at those names now.
Actually, I did have the name The Rev. There's a longer version of it, which lots of people know.
He wanted to be known as the Reverend Bartholomew Plague, and at this point, you know, he was wearing a kimono everywhere he went, and his hair was about this big. And
I remember the Rev literally running in like a bathrobe. He had like this kimono, like this bright yellow and orange fluorescent kimono, and he had these big, like blue shorts, like big blue dicky shorts, like striped fluorescent socks and shit. And he would bounce around these hills like all during the breaks and terrorize every single person.
We did kind of all come up with Johnny's name.
And it was funny because I was only signing Johnny like the first couple weeks and the first while. I was like, what the hell am I supposed to sign, you know? Like, I didn't have a cool name yet. The closest one I came to is Johnny Walker. I was just gonna steal that and be an alcoholic. Zach was actually the one that said, you should be Johnny Christ. I'm like, that sounds really ballsy. Everyone's gonna hate that, so I should definitely get with that.
It's fitting for him, you know, he's a little shit, and it's such a name that pisses people off and stuff, but it's very fitting.
Let's make fake names, let's go full bore. Sin Gates and the Rev already have their names, we'll just call them that from now on. And Zach's like, I want to be Zachy Vengeance, because he really had a problem with a lot of people in high school, and his main thing was like to be in this popular band and just have the middle finger out to everybody. He loved music, but he really wanted our band to be popular because of that. He just had a lot of people he didn't like. I was kind of like the darker character in the group, you know, and so we just came up with M Shadows, you know, because M stands for Matt. And then, but I didn't want Matt to be in my name, really. I wanted just to be M Shadows. So there's a lot of different reasons, you know, like we had it, yeah. We did it because we wanted to piss people off. We did it because we wanted to stand apart. We just thought it was cool. We knew we were gonna take a lot of heat for it, but at the same time, it's like what we wanted to do.
We knew that we needed a logo that was going to be identifiable.
We had a lot of cool art from, you know, our friend Adam Barton, who's like my tattoo artist. He did all these like cool, like new school skulls with wings and cool stuff like that.
I kind of want to do something more seriously and kind of headbutt a little bit back and forth with how it should look. So we sent it off to our friend Micah, who's a great artist.
Micah Montague drew the death bat up. It's really a cool symbol, icon, logo. Now it's becoming almost like a household name.
We'd said, you know, this is what we want to do. We want a skull, we want it to have wings, you know, like skeletal wings. Do your magic, you know.
And he gives me this huge pencil drawing of the death bat, and we're just like, that's it, that's a genius. Next thing you know, we're plastering it everywhere.
And it was unbelievable. We flipped out, you know, we couldn't have asked for something more perfect.
This is Avenged Sevenfold. Like, this is, you know, this is what embodies us. This is our band, this is our image now. The death bat is what we are.
You'd see it everywhere around Huntington, even before it was now everywhere on TV and everything, or wherever else it might be.
Half of us have gotten it tattooed or are gonna get it tattooed.
They understand the value of their identity. When people think Avenged Sevenfold, they think of something, they can articulate it, there's a clarity in their mind of what Avenged Sevenfold is, what they are, who they are, what they stand for. And now you look around the world and there's kids tattooing that thing all over their bodies.
I think that's a logo that's gonna stand the test of time.
40's in the park. Makes me want to feel good.
Why are they in the fucking bushes?
Hey, nice ass.
Hey, fucking dumb idiots. What are you doing? Did you just take a shit?
Unbelievable. This is unbelievable. This is unbelievable.
Well, don't scream. You're crying out loud. Central Park is the scariest park.
We should try the main spot, but if they didn't go that way. I saw Brian, he was going this way, so.
Wow, it's been a long time since I've been here.
Stop somewhere and fucking drink, god damn it.
We're going to the spot. Let's chill out. We should just tell Matt, Give him no directions when he gets back. Just tell him that we're at the spot.
Where did he go?
Val used to live on that track, and I live in this track. And so we played James Bond all night and get hammered. And then we'd walk back, we'd walk back to the park home.
Look at the size of that fucking duck!
Whoa.
Look at that duck! Jesus Christ! Come here, fucking stallion duck. He's not afraid at all.
He's bigger than you.
At all. He's not afraid at all.
the only bird with a longer neck.
That's the biggest fucking duck I've ever seen in my life.
This is a better place to drink than ever. Oh, God. What a dumb thing for us to do. Where's everybody else?
This is the best place to ever be.
Yep. You have the best cigarette known to man in your pocket? You didn't even tell me? Oh, this is such a good cigarette, such a quality smoke. What are you doing with that archaic fucking...
That's all I got.
Beast
Unless
of...
you got fucking light.
This spot was the first time that the Rev and I came. He was probably drunk a time or two before this, but this is the first time I really got good and drunk. And this was the secret spot. I could hear my mom off in the fucking far distance.
No, he's got no container. He's not just carrying groceries anymore.
He's not just dropping groceries anymore. It's for you, Joe.
Straight to jail now.
All right, sounds good.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I guess one of the first shows was that we've ever played when we were the fetus of Avenged Sevenfold. It was Chain Reaction.
Chain Reaction is one of the venues that we played quite a few times.
It's just a place that you really have to play, like if you're from Orange County.
All you want to do, you want to play Chain Reaction. You want to play Chain Reaction, you want to play Showcase Theater. It's Showcase Theater is the one in Riverside or Corona, and Chain Reaction is the one in Anaheim.
We were friends at this point with the band 18 Visions, who were going to headline a show there, and Matt had talked to James, which is in 18 Visions, and asked him, hey, is there any way you could get us on the show, We were like, all right, this is our chance to take over. We're gonna take over this whole scene. We're gonna show the world that we're unstoppable, and we were pumped. And we got up there on stage, and we just choked. I mean, it was pretty bad, to be honest.
And that was our first real show there, and I got in a big argument with one of the guys there, that just thought we sucked.
One of the booking agents at that place, he didn't seem to like us very much.
We were the opening band, and he just thought we were, cocky, being jerks. And so I got us banned there. I wasn't gonna sit there and be like, oh, it's cool, please let us play again.
And we were like, this is bullshit. This is our only chance to get out and keep kind of toying with us. And it took us about 2.5 years to get back in Chain Reaction. And at this point, we'd toured around the country a few times, and we'd gotten bigger. So we were like, all right, let bygones be bygones. We'd really love to play in Orange County again. So we played, and I think the show sold out. I think we might have been headlining, and it was just awesome. And we started this whole thing. We're like, when did this happen? When did all these kids come out to see us? And we played again, and it was like kids were showing up that have like Avenged Sevenfold tattoos, and it was unbelievable. Just like we came, went around the country, and we came back to Orange County,
And it was like all these people knew who we were now, and we're selling out shows, and it was just like the weirdest, most awesome feeling. It was pretty unbelievable. You know, we actually had these real fans that weren't people that we'd grown up with. It wasn't just our friends at the concert anymore. We were kind of starting this kind of a ruckus. You know, people were like, you know, fuck that band. Those guys aren't hardcore. Those guys aren't this. And then you had these other people that were like, this is awesome. You know, they're doing something different.
Chain Reaction was a venue like at our level at the time. That was a big place to play for us. Now, like, all I can think about Chain Reaction is that it's fucking 300 degrees in there, and it's hell to play in there.
We were completely unsigned, and we had 3 songs, and we were really stoked on them. We were like, oh, we got to record these things. These are big. These are gonna be great songs. We got a bunch of money together. I mean, it wasn't that much money, but it was like, you know, a few grand. Like, now that I think about it, at the time I thought it was so much more money because it was like, oh, dude, we got $3,000 for this demo, and we recorded these 3 songs for our demo. That did absolutely nothing for us. No one cared. It sucked. So we wrote 2 new songs, which is "We Come Out at Night" and "Lips of Deceit." That started getting a couple of people looking at us.
We started sending it out to every single label that, you know, we could either find on the internet or we'd seen on a 7-inch of another band that we liked. So we were mailing these out every day.
Good Life Records from Belgium called us. They said they wanted to sign us, and it was like the greatest day of our lives.
We were just so amped on getting signed to a label that we didn't look at it in detail at all. We just kind of went for it.
It was like a 1-page contract.
I signed my friend Kai Peterson's name instead of my own.
I mean, we didn't know how the music industry worked. We didn't really care, to be honest. We just wanted to put out a CD.
So we get the contracts, and they're like, we'll give you $2,000 to record a full length.
We ended up paying for it out of our own money for the most part.
So we did that record. We had Sounding Seventh Trumpet, and we started just going on tour doing that. And then Hopeless Records came along because we had a fan base in Orange County, and they signed us and bought Sounding the Seventh Trumpet from Good Life.
They helped us get on tours like Warped Tour and stuff, and just, you know, give us a big push.
So we did our record, Waking the Fallen, and then we had a nice fan base, you know, throughout the whole country. Then when Warner Brothers came along, a bunch of major labels came along, but we decided to go with Warner Brothers.
And Warner Brothers absolutely rules. They're the best, and they give us the most freedom.
I just remember the first time we decided that we were going to go with them, and we all had champagne in the San Diego Warped Tour. We were just going crazy, so went back to our van, which is funny at the time. You know, now we're riding in buses, and at that time, going through all the times when you're in a van and switching to the bus as soon as you have actual money from Warner Brothers.
And the award for best bare ass in a music video is M Shadows.
Let's see those healthy rounds.
Don't want to embarrass anybody.
We toured for years without making a cent. We were taking separate cars pretty much to drive these tour dates that we were playing in front of literally no one. And I mean, we'd drive out to Texas and the show would be canceled. And I mean, it was pretty much a nightmare, but at the same time, it was really fun.
I can remember when we were touring at the beginning of my touring part with them. We had the old van called the Road Dog.
Originally, I just started touring with Avenged. It was just me and them, me and the band, and I was doing merch and tour managing, which is kind of ridiculous.
I don't know if everybody knows this, but Val sang on the first record.
I used to sing on stage with the guys. I wouldn't say sing, I used to scream.
You would never recognize her. She has this really Satan demon girly voice.
I'd leave the merch booth, get someone to watch it, and I'd jump up on stage and do my little 2-second part.
And when Val hit the stage, like, every chick in the place started going nuts. And people, I remember fans and people couldn't believe it, like, holy crap, that's a fucking girl singing?
living in a van, those were great days, you know? We had the Berries in there, we had Val in there, we had all of us, and we'd cuddle up to each other. You never get so close to 8 dudes until you have to go in a van with them, and at first you're just all trying to stay away from each other, not touch each other, and you're like, fuck it, we're here, so we might as well just fucking be comfortable and just lay on top of each other pretty much, you know?
You don't really get any sleep in a rocking van all over the place because you're speeding to get to the next show.
And then the sun would come up, and then everyone's passed out because they've been drunk all night, and then you're just dying in the heat, and it smells like crap, and you just wake up and you're like, oh man, you gotta drive, you know, and it's just 100 degrees in there.
It smelled, it was bad, and a lot of us got sick.
Like I remember getting pulled over and a cop opening the door just to check for drugs or check for that kind of shit.
Everyone was passed out and no one moved, and the cop comes up and opens the side doors, and we're all lying there, and all he said was, oh my God.
That's so not safe if you get in a fender bender, you know, someone could die or break a leg.
Like you'd never see anything like it. That's what you have to do, you know, we didn't have any money. And
amazing that at those times you could actually get girls to come back. It's not like, come back to my bus, that sounds cool, come back to my van.
I mean, there's hotels that you could get across the country for $19 a night. We had like $1 a day food budget, which was actually putting us in debt. And when you don't have $19, it's kind of, you know, we're digging ourselves a hole. And when you are in the hotel that costs $19, there's all sorts of crazy shit you wouldn't even believe. I was definitely probably weighed $150 and starving. I remember when I first came home after being on the road for like 6 months, my parents couldn't believe how green I was.
Where are we at?
Advanced Rehearsal Studios in Hollywood. Where there's a fucking Guns N' Roses pinball machine. Because they play here, kind of.
When we needed to do a record, we had our wonderful manager, Larry. He's like, well, you guys got to do a record with someone that, you know, knows how to make a real record. And we're just like, we had just done Sounding Some Trumpet. We're like, oh, I don't know, who are we going to get, you know? He's like, well, I know a couple people. So he made some calls, and we got a meeting with Mudrock.
Mudrock is a dead man. I'm going to kill him.
When they brought me Sounding the Seventh Trumpet, I was in a studio in North Hollywood mixing a Christian rock band. And these guys showed up and played me this stuff.
We were looking for different producers for Waking the Fallen, and Mudrock and Fred were the 2 guys that would just give it their all.
There's the man behind the computer.
It's the best thing ever.
Sexy Fred's what we call him.
I remember listening to Second Heartbeat, and that was the song I was like, wow, this is really cool. You know, I think, yeah, I would love to be a part of this.
He'd heard the Sounding the Southern Trumpet album, and the first thing he pretty much said was, you know, it's really sloppy.
Some of the spots really kind of made me laugh out loud in that they were doing something really unusual.
I'm the one to take your fucking master.
Because of that, I felt like I really had to do it, even though they didn't have any money.
You know, if you guys can't play to a click, then I'm not going to do your record. They're like, oh, okay, we'll learn how to play to a click.
So with our budget, Fred and Mudrock, we're going to do the best, you know, utilize the funds.
We went in to do Waking the Fallen. You know, we did pre-production with Fred.
But they came in like really eager, you know, like that rare opportunity that a band just is like totally eager to make a record. They enthusiastic about learning, you know, which I think was a key thing.
Oh! We've been working hard. Instead of ending on a high string, I would end like...
Well, definitely on both records, I worked a lot with Johnny.
I worked more closely with Fred, actually. He was the guy that was putting the tracks for me.
I felt he just skyrocketed every time I met him or saw them live or worked with him again. I just felt like he's just making enormous strides in his playing.
And I learned a lot from him. More so on Waking the Fallen, there was times when I just really didn't get what I was supposed to be doing or where exactly I was fitting in there. And he was helping me along that a lot.
Fred is the only guy that I like to do drum tracks with because he's super patient and he's a really cool guy. He's become a friend.
And then we get in the studio with Mudrock, and he just, you know, he kicked our ass in there, you know. We got in there and we're laying stuff down we thought was cool.
I wish I could tell you that was the one.
Let's do it again.
Okay, here we go.
He's like, oh, this part's boring. Oh, this part's, this. Oh, we need to add something there. We're just like, what? This is crazy. So every song we're just going over and doing them over and over and over and over.
You're not supposed to show this stuff. This is all very secret.
Very secret. Can't see it.
During recording of Wake in the Fallen, we did alter the arrangements a lot. I really beat them up a bit about the arrangements.
We realized later on that our songwriting, had immensely improved because of Mudrock.
They taught us everything about how not to be bored, when you need to spice something up, when you need to shorten something.
He's taught us a lot about producing in general and just the whole process of it. He's helped us a lot. He also taught me the importance of video games in the studio.
One-on-one with Death Saber. I want some one-on-one, dude. Who's the guy?
Yeah, this is what Avenged Sevenfold does.
Yeah. You beat me down?
Fucking $100 bill.
Yeah, you did.
We like to keep it nice and loose and fat,
Hardcore like that.
Yeah, ready? Oh, yeah. That's how we do it. We don't just sit around playing video games all day, I swear. No, give me that $500 bill. Bitch, fuck you. I just got laid, too. Recording's crazy, dude. These fuckers play video games, but I do blow and get laid. So does Johnny. Sinister does, too. He just got laid like 4 times.
It's all about blow jobs.
We just made a porno video fucking earlier. We took everything that we learned from them and applied that to City of Evil.
It seemed like they really enjoyed that because by the second record, there wasn't really much that we did. They really brought me the second record sounding very much like you hear it.
I would have friends like, oh, you worked with Avenged Sevenfold. Like, wow, they're really crazy. Like, what do you mean? Like, oh, on tour, they're just crazy. Like, well, they're on their best behavior. I think that's like a sign to like how serious they take making records. Is they're in for how long, the day is. If it's a 12-hour or a 10-hour day, they're in and they just work and they're really quick.
One thing I see a lot on the internet and I hear a lot about, and I just want to set the record straight on, is when I met the band after Sounding the Seven Trumpet had come out and before they recorded Wake in the Fallen, Matt handed me the CD and he said to me, this record's screaming. The record we want to make, which turned out to be Wake in the Fallen, is going to be half screaming and half singing. He said, I don't want to scream anymore, but I'm going to make a record that's half screaming, half singing. And the record after that is going to be all singing. They already knew that they wanted to make a record that was all singing by the time City of Evil came out. And that was 2 years before that record came out. And all this bullshit about him not being able to scream anymore is just, it's just not true. It's what the band wanted to do as artists.
Yeah, we did a Warped Tour for 4 years. I was on for 3 of them.
Getting on Warped Tour the first few years was amazing. When we were playing the Kevin Lyman stage, we played in front of a total of probably 500 kids the whole tour.
We were so excited to do it, We'd grown up going to Warped Tour, and we got there, and we were playing in front of, pretty much nobody, to be honest.
It was such a great tour for us. It got us in there. We were playing the Warped Tour. It kind of legitimized us.
At the time, that was a dream come true. And I see bands to date doing the same thing, and I can see it in their eyes. It's a dream come true too.
Festivals, they're tough, but once you're done with the day, you just have fun. You're getting along with all these bands. All these bands are trying to do the same thing you are.
But it was still so much fun, It was really hard being in a van and being on Warped Tour. We would drive 12 hours a night, load our stuff at 11 in the morning, play, start our drive again. There's a show in Colorado that year on that Warped Tour that they wouldn't even let us in the concert. So we're like, well, we gotta play. We're like, no, sorry, you don't have the right badges. And they finally let us in after we, were freaking out. We missed our time spot on our stage, so we had to play on a different stage. But it worked out good. Actually, it was one of our better shows.
Second year we moved up to the next stage. We always just loved Warped Tour.
Getting to meet our idols on that tour, you know, Rancid and NoFX and stuff like that. A lot of the punk legends from California.
So we're playing in front of 200 to 1,000 or more people every single day. And this was awesome, you know, real stage, good sound system, meeting tons of people, and just overall having the respect of the whole Warped Tour staff and other bands.
For the headliner of Warped Tour, it's still a really hard tour because you still got to find a porta potty to use in the morning when you wake up. Porta potty hunting, dude, with shotguns. Fucking blast of shit everywhere, dude. Fountains of shit.
Think about what kind of damage you could wreak on fucking Warped Tour.
You know what?
On Warped Tour, at about 10 o'clock in the morning, if you decided to push down one and domino all 500 of them that are lined up.
And it's always fucking 120 degrees out because the sun follows that tour for some reason.
Our fan base is like a fan base that every other band is jealous of, you know? Because they know that our fans stay with us through every record and just gets bigger and bigger. Our fans have Avenged tattoos, you know, they're crazy, you know, they're obsessed. They buy all the merch, they're at all the shows.
They support the changes. We're all about change. We don't want to be the same band, and that's really hard for a fan.
Kids were going out and helping us promote. Whether it was they tell their friends or people were making flyers for us and giving them out at their schools and other concerts, and we were like, this is amazing. People genuinely like what we're doing and they genuinely want to show it to the world.
First time we went to Ireland, they made Ireland flags with the death bat all over them, 97X, you know. It's really cool, and they were waving them around when we came over there and played.
We just have crazy fans, very loyal, and we respect them for that, and we're just very lucky to have fans that are that crazy. And I don't know how it happened, but I think it has a lot to do with a lot of the stuff we did in the beginning with letting our fans be in videos, having the logos, and just making cool merch that they want to be involved in, going and doing signings, doing all this stuff. And so I think that's why we have such a crazy fan base, but we're very grateful for them.
There's a lot of fans out there that are into us being who we are, and they want to be a part of that.
The whole reason why our fan base grows outside is because of that core. Is so enthusiastic. People want to see, wow, like, what's going on here? They're all so loyal, and we really wouldn't be anything without them. They're really great.
Hey, one of the funniest things you could see
with
is
a lot of money. You want some money?
The funniest things you could ever see is about.
Want some money? Do you want some money?
If you want to really see it.
Just so you know, Rev, he is immortal now.
I drank the blood last night. True.
Immortal.
Then it went to Ozfest. You know, we kind of crossed over a little bit and didn't know how crazy and hardcore, you know, they'd be. We heard crazy horror stories or whatever, but the Ozfest crowd was great, and we didn't really promote it. We were kind of the secret band on Ozfest.
So we're in front of absolutely nobody that would come to see us. We were kind of taken in different ways.
So we wanted to get out there and play in front of new people. And so basically that was what Ozfest was to us, is get out there in front of new people and have to tough it out again. Have to be out there and not have a good crowd response and not, you know, not have kids that are just going ape shit.
The band like System of a Down and Disturbed are headlining, and we're not exactly with them in the same genre, the same fans.
We were playing in front of new crowds, and it was just a great experience. It was totally different. We bonded with several different bands on Ozfest, several great bands.
One more shot.
One more, Don again.
One more shot for the road. One more shot. I know you're joking, but you're fucked now.
All right, oh my God.
Disturbed, who actually became really good friends with on that tour, as well as bands like Lacuna Coil and Hatebreed and Dragon Force.
I got to wake up at 4 every day if I wanted to and play at 6. It was like vacation.
days off could be a lot worse.
We're going night-night. Oh, fishy.
Yeah? Is that a fish right there? Look at that.
How does that feel? Catch that puppy.
Oh my God!
Feels good. Let's look at that fishy.
I caught Bob.
I caught myself Bob.
What about Bob?
Little Bob, dude. Gates' first fish.
Little Bob.
All right, did you enjoy your evening?
Playing with Metallica in general was insane.
So we've been standing here for like an hour now, and it's not really a big show or anything. It's only like 25,000 people in Berlin for our first time. It looks as though we're not going to get a sound check. We're not going to. And we're playing with Metallica, by the way.
Right there, that's the best thing I've ever heard.
It was probably, when we heard about it, it was probably the craziest thing that's ever happened to us.
Jesus Christ, dude, that's fucking awesome. That was like, seriously,
That was the funnest show of my life, dude.
that was just, it was surreal, dude. Yeah, so surreal. Looking out.
That was really man. Congratulations, guys.
I don't know who was more excited, them or me. You know, I mean, I grew up on Metallica.
The first show that I've ever been to in my life was a Metallica show. I mean, I was 12 years old, and this is the only band that I really loved and really wanted to go see.
Wow, dude, we just straight up opened for Metallica. For real.
All the Metallica guys treated us with such respect and, you know, hospitality.
That show in Berlin, where it was the first show where it was just us opening up for Metallica, and that was the bill was us and Metallica. Happened to be 6606, which was weird.
Let us come up and sing on stage, and it was just a great time.
Yeah, so we're doing this song.
Oh, we're playing it right now.
Okay, yeah, so we're doing this song. Do you know the song? You guys know the song, Ramones?
Yeah.
Old Ramones shit.
Got some friends on tour with us, and we want to bring them out and sing on the next song. So, Avenged Sevenfold, get on out here, all right? We're gonna sing some backup vocals for us, and you can sing too, all right? You guys know the Ramones? They're not here. But we're playing one.
Here's this band that the band has admired for so long, and they had a chance to see firsthand, up close, why it is that Metallica has enjoyed the long career that they have. As Metallica's getting ready, James is coming out, and he's going to all the different guys in the crew, and he's going, guys, have a good show, have a good show, have a good show. This is how they've succeeded, because they understand that every guy is playing a role. Every guy is critical to the success of the entire organization called Metallica, and the Avenged Sevenfold guys saw that. And they came home and they said, we want to make sure that we're incorporating a lot of what they've done to be, successful, the way they sort of have lived their career. We want to make sure that we're taking some lessons from them as well.
Travel safe.
You too.
Awesome.
Well, hey, M Shadows.
What's up, dude?
Thanks for letting me be in the fucking band, because Metallica, playing with them, makes my fucking dream come true. Had the best time in the whole fucking world. You guys are my best friends.
Me, you freak.
Because you let me into the fucking band back in 99.
Fucking 7
Way back
years
in
ago.
1999. I used to know her. I used to blow it. You guys are my best friends and I'm having the best time in the fucking world. Yeah. I'm a little too close to Johnny right now, but that's okay.
The thing about our band that makes it work so well, I think, is we have, including myself, we have 5 characters. I mean, there's not many people in the world I've ever met that are quite like my band members.
I couldn't fathom doing anything else than I'm doing right now because of who I work with. I have the best friends in the world, regardless of what we do. And then on top of it, we're in a fun, successful band that gets to tour the world and play with our idols. And it's just, it's hard to really constantly remind yourself of it. But some days I wake up and definitely it socks me in the face like, you lucky bastard.
The people in this band are my best friends on the planet. Some I've known longer than others, and some truly are my heart and soul.
We're like the biggest fans of each other. You know what I mean? Like, if I see fucking anyone saying shit about anyone in my band, I flip out, you know, because they're fucking my best friends first. If people talk shit at me, because it happens all the time, they're always the first ones to defend me. And it's fucking, it's awesome, it's the best. Like, we're just so much deeper than any kind of fucking DVD, any kind of bullshit, you know what I mean? It's like, I see fucking people talk shit at me all the time, and every interview Brian's like, we got M. Shadows, who's the greatest singer in the world that fucking is gonna do this and that, you know, he's always positive. Every one of our band members is fucking super positive and super cool with everybody, and it's the fucking best thing in the world. I think that we have the greatest fucking players in the world. I think Jimmy's the greatest drummer. I think fucking Zach and Sin are the best guitar players in the world, best duo. I think Johnny sucks the best D.
I was waiting for something.
Johnny is the coolest. No, Johnny is literally the coolest motherfucker you'll ever see on stage, and he fucking played the shit out of the bass. Our band needs Johnny Christ because he does what he does best.
Well, the bottom line, I mean, it's just, we're just best fucking friends. We just don't give a shit, you know? It is what it is. I got the best dog and the best friends in the world.